I start on Earth, bare feet and wet sand. Ocean knows my name before I ever speak back. Salt in the skin, wind in my hair. Standing where to meet sky, I'm aware. I look up once, heaven responds. White light moves through, truth carries on. I don't walk alone, never did. Body and clothes keeps me for what I skill. He don't say much, just stands his ground. Every near miss, he was around. I don't need pain to touch the line. I carry it all, I carry it fine. Heaven and sin, soaring rain. I'm the bridge, I'm the ground where I stand. I don't need love to reach what's above. And it moves through me, loses one. Right now, every wrong line. I carry it all at the same time. Michael.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention please as we go through the following safety instructions.
A special thank you from the heart.
The call is real. In full disclosure, this segment that I'm about to do today, I just want to have you understand that I am not from this area at all. I don't know the living history because of the fact that I'm not from there. The only thing I have is a reoccurring feeling that I've had for a very, very long time. So this is based on spirit and not coming from the area. So with full disclosure, I do want to say that this is not to offend anybody. This is not to stir up controversy. This is just the way I've been feeling for a very long time. Please enjoy this segment. The line was already strong and the call is real. Welcome to Blended Healing. Welcome. So, you think you're getting a travel guide? Nah, this isn't that. Nah. I love Bourbon Street and the powdered sugar on them beignets. It's not none of that. This is for the people who feel that pull towards New Orleans and can't explain why. The people who never been or went once and haven't been back since. And never been the same since. The ones who wake up with it in their dreams and feel it and hear it like it's a second heartbeat. This is for the people who are being called not by the city, but by what survived in it. Any of y'all carrying questions that didn't come from textbooks? You know. How about that inherited silence and emotion with no story to hold it? It's not curiosity. It's about recognition. And if you feel it, if this touches something in you before you can even say why, then you already know. You're not here by mistake or accident. You were meant to hear this because the call is real and the assignment is real. And now it's got your name on it. You feel that? That's the door opening. Welcome to Blended Healing. Happy Valentine's Day. Be on the lookout for a Valentine's special on JamaicaEssentials.com.
The Petite 9x6 Valentine box opens to a cobalt and silver collection, a 3-ounce body spray with silver atomizer, a 4-ounce tin of whipped
Calm, a cooling aromatherapy spray with notes of sea salt and lavender, a smooth ocean blue soap that shimmers like water, rich body moisture that sinks right in, and a grounding bracelet with...
Inside the premium 10x8 Valentine box, every element is chosen to pamper. A 4-ounce body spray and an 8-ounce body wash.
A cobalt blue aromatherapy spray with a silver pump carrying our Royal Azure fragrance. There's a whipped hydrating body moisture, matching body wash, also in Royal Azure.
Yeah, we shine, nothing less. Drip so divine, body magic in the air. She make her got the vibe, self-love everywhere. Essentials only keep it real, no stress.
Something keeps pulling us back to New Orleans, even when you've never been there. It's not like saying, oh, that would be a nice trip to go. You know, it's that persistent tug that just keeps pulling at you, that shows up randomly, unannounced sometimes, and just stays right there. You could be minding your business, and suddenly New Orleans is on your spirit like, yeah, you. This isn't about Bourbon Street or the parades, or even the powdered sugar on those beignets. I keep mentioning those beignets. Those beignets are fire. It's chef's kiss. You know? Respect where it's due. But Black folks are not flying across the country for postcards and vibes. We don't move like that. We move when something means something. What's pulling us is older than tourism, older than the marketing, older than the version of the city they sell on TV. It's deeper than the jazz. It's deeper than the sound. It's deeper than what's on the surface. Just enough feeling to slip into your dreams, but strong enough to sit in your body once it's there. Because this pull doesn't start in your head, it starts in your body. You feel it before anything else, before you can even explain it, before you even watched a documentary or read a book. Something in you just recognizes the place, not like, I've been there, but like, I know this. And that's the unsettling if you don't have the language for it. I believe this pull is ancestral. Not metaphorically, literally. I believe it's metaphysical, meaning that it moves outside of what we consider logic. outside of time, outside of what can be proven on paper. And it's definitely spiritual, whether somebody's comfortable with that word or not. Because whatever it is, it's operating below consciousness. And that's where the real stuff lives. So let's be clear. This is not imagination. This is not romanticizing struggle. This is memory without images. Same type of inheritance. We're not just curious about New Orleans. Curiosity is light. This is heavy. We're being called. And the call, it just waits and waits and waits. And then it lays dormant. Then it comes back up again, and then it lays dormant again, but always pulling, until one day you realize you gotta go. It don't start in your head. It starts in your body. That feeling, that low vibration that just keeps, but it's steady. That tightness in your body when somebody mentions the city like it's more than just a place. The moment your ears perk up at the second line video online and your whole mood changes, it's just like you just remembered something that you didn't even live. Yeah. That's not imagination. That's memory without even knowing what's behind it. It's like, I know this, before your brain has any type of explanation for it. And let's be clear, we're not curious. You're not being drawn because of some old cultural escape or anything like that. You're recognizing it. There's a difference between fascination and being familiar with something, because fascination happens in the mind. Being familiar, that's muscle memory, deep. That's soul's deep. That's something coded inside of your body waiting to get activated. Your spirit already clocked it. Like there's something there for me. Not for entertainment or anything about anything else, for the food or the photos, just something that's unfinished. And it might feel weird. It's a chill when you hear certain horns, and sometimes you get a lump in your throat, right? When you see the curve of the Mississippi River, it's weird. It's like a weird calm that shows up right in the middle of confusion about why you care. That's because this is a pull, right? It's a pull. It is just, that's what it is. It's what we're so used to second guessing ourselves, and we're trained to ignore the unexplainable, especially when there's no history book or family story to back it up. You feel me? But your body don't need no documentation. It remembers energy. It remembers the rhythm. It remembers safety and danger. It remembers home. Especially the parts of home that got lost or stolen. And for a lot of us, New Orleans hits like a piece of home trying to come back. You can't trace it because, case in point, my lineage, I got to trace it back to another time, or should I say another place down in the low country. Has nothing to do with Orleans. New Orleans at all. So I can't predict why this keeps showing up. But when it does, I know it's not random. Sometimes places vibrate on your frequency, and I can't be the only one that feels this because some places wake up parts of you that were sleeping. New Orleans does that, and it doesn't need to explain itself to do it. So when I feel, or you feel that low vibration, that low, but some type of energy, I can't put it into words right now. I just, when your body gets that like tense for no reason, or a sound or a smell sends your body into some type of deja vu, you can't brush that off because it's not imagination or fantasy. It's real memory trying to reach you without words. And if you keep feeling that, you're already in a conversation with the city, even if your feet haven't touched the ground yet, or you've been there but don't realize how deep it was. You felt something when you was there before, but never really connected the whole thing together. It's haunting, man. It's very haunting. That's the only thing that I can say. You see, the city isn't just a location. It's a living archive. New Orleans isn't just a place for you to go, a place that remembers. A city like that don't just exist on the map. It lives on the edge between the worlds, the spiritual side and the physical side. It's one of the last cities in this country that never fully wanted anybody to forget the things that happened there in the past. And that matters because everywhere else tried to scrub the African out of us. They tried to kill it, convert it, erase it, shamed it, buried it under pews and plantations. But New Orleans, nah. That city did not take the knee. It adapted. The culture didn't even disappear. It just shape-shifted, camouflaged itself, just enough to survive. You look close enough and it's still there, hiding right in plain sight. Those Catholic rituals were fused with African spirituality by design. That was the code. Drumming turned into the parades because drums were banned, but the rhythm they couldn't kill. And the spirit work got labeled as superstition, but that didn't stop it from moving through back doors and kitchens and front porches. Sunday prayers, the ancestor altars turned into family mantles hidden right there in plain sight. For those who know. And for those who didn't, it just looked like normal pictures on a ledge. And root work, that slipped into everyday sayings. People started calling it luck or charm. They even say it's an old culture, but we know better. We know what it is. And the dead, them dead, were never sealed off like they are everywhere else. They were never shoved out of the sight or buried under the dirt. They walked with the living there, openly, in the second lines, in the whispers, and the dreams, and the performances that were, or we all know that are rituals that never stop being practiced. They just changed clothes, baby. And you can feel it. That's why when you go into the city, it's not just the humidity that hits you, it's the history breathing on your neck. It's the sound of the voices that never stop speaking. And if your bloodline comes from folks who were stolen, who survived, who rebelled, they built a whole life out of the fragments of what they were left with. And they prayed in code because saying it out loud would have gotten them killed. And your body recognizes that place. Whether your mind does or not, that city vibrates in your body. It shows up like a frequency that don't remember turning into. Walking through something that already knows your name, even if you can't pronounce all the streets. And that right there, that's what makes New Orleans different. It just sits there holding on to history and is history. It's still breathing, still shape-shifting, still reaching out to the ones who can hear its call. Ashe. I'll be right back after this.
Light it slow, let the spirit rise. Lavish lights dancing in your eyes. Herbal healing flowing through my veins. Smoke of the ancestors calling my name. Every pull of prayer, every breath release. Lavish lights bring the body peace. Lavish lights burning soft and sweet. Chimeka essentials where the spirit meets. Grounded in the smoke, lifted in the night.
The river carries more than water. You want to talk about haunting? Memory that goes on for decades and decades and decades. That's the Mississippi River. It's not just considered a river, it's a graveyard, a trade route, a memory keeper. It's a warning and also a witness. It's been all that. They moved bodies on that water. They chained ancestors, displaced nations on that river. Blood and gold. You already know that the Mississippi River was all about economics built on that current. It's the longest river in the United States that connects the north to the south. But it also holds a lot of grief. That river carried more than goods. It carried screams. It carried stolen prayers. It carried the silence of people who couldn't even speak out loud. So they just breathed the pain into the current and kept moving. Did you know that language has disappeared into that water? Soaked names, soaked children. You think it's just kept flowing like nothing happened, right? But water don't work like that. Water don't forget. And that's not a metaphor. That's physics. That's spiritual law. That's energy in motion. Water records everything that it touches. It absorbs emotion. It holds onto the vibe and the frequency. And the Mississippi has been holding centuries of trauma. That's why New Orleans feels thick. Why the air hangs heavy. And it does. Parts of New Orleans proper, down in the quarter, can take your breath away. It feels like somebody is pressing down in your chest so you can't breathe. I'm a witness. There's certain parts of New Orleans that does that to you. That's why some people feel drained the minute that they land there. And it's not just the heat, it's the weight. Like for real, spiritual weight, residue that never got cleared up, unfinished mourning, unprocessed rage. That river is still swollen with everything it swallowed and never spits back out. Maybe you don't know any of that when you go. Maybe you're just feeling something's off. It's almost like it's out of body. A pressure, right, that's behind your eyes, or a heaviness that you can't just get rid of no matter how hard you try. That's the river talking. And the thing is that it doesn't use words. It uses feelings. It uses moods. It moves through like a low humming vibration, a pulse, a message in the blood. See? People thinking healing only happens in safe places, but sometimes the healing starts in haunted ones, where not everything got buried, where memory still sits right there on the surface. And that's what the Mississippi is. It's not just water. It's an echo of what was done and never fully dealt with. And if you can feel it, you're not crazy. You're tuned in. And the river's still talking. And you just have to know how to listen. The call is real, y'all. It's calling specific people for a reason. Not everybody feels this pull, you know. And honestly, not everybody's supposed to. But the ones who do have something in common, we share a certain kind of wiring. We're walking around carrying grief we didn't even have anything for. Like, why are we carrying it? Except for the obvious reasons of the Black experience here in this country, we're carrying that around, but we still feel responsible for it. We're the ones who sense things before we can even know what it's about. We pick up energy before a word is even spoken. Who feels heavy on a sunny day for reasons that we can't even explain? We come from families that never talk about the real stuff, but pass it down anyway. And things unsaid, and the quick glances and the things that we do that we don't even know that we were considered rituals. Things wrapped, passed it down anyway, called tradition. They were actually spiritual tools disguised because we couldn't do it in the open. We have dreams that we don't understand. We can't even explain why we having these crazy dreams. Repeating ones, ancestral ones, messages with no sender but still feels personal. And deep down we know we're here to finish what didn't get done the first time around. And that's why the pull feels urgent, even when that city's not calling your phone. It's not about visiting New Orleans. It's about remembered by it. Because when a place still holds what was left undone, the people are meant to work. But to work in order to get forward, to get why we're pulled in that direction, we got to put that work in. And there's no map. There's no reason. There's no blueprint. It's just that vibration that goes in your blood. New Orleans speaks to people like us because it's one of the few places where the veil is thin and the culture knows how to work with that. Spirits move differently down there. It's that the people never stopped knowing what to do with them. They just made space for the unseen. They passed on the codes and then they folded all of that in. The spiritual and the physical into every day, so it wouldn't be lost. It's not mystical, it's practical magic. It's survival level magic, something that you don't need a language for because it's already in your walk, your laugh, your intuition, your pulse. For you going in any building and that city is calling you, it means that you're a part of it, a carrier, a key, a continuer. And that's why it doesn't shake everybody. That's why some people feel nothing and keep it moving. But for us, it's a pull that we can't shake because it's not just a calling, it's an assignment. You're an assignment. That's why. And you are entering a portal in that assignment. Can't you feel it? It's not lyrical, it's surgical, cutting right through to the people who need these words and can't name it until now. The call is real. There's work waiting for us there. Some of us are not being called to live there. That's not what this is about. It's not about relocating, it's about returning. And returning in a way that most of y'all don't even understand yet because it's not physical, it's energetic, it's spiritual. We're not being called to New Orleans to claim it. We're being called to show up, feel, and remember something on the behalf of our lineage. Something that never really got fully processed. Something that didn't get a funeral or closure that nobody really wanted to talk about because it was too dangerous at the time. And now it's just sitting there, waiting for someone with the code in their blood to come and feel it, name it, move it. And that's going to look like healing. That might even be activation. Who knows? It might just be witnessing, but trust. It's definitely not random. You don't just pick New Orleans off a map. And you didn't just end up there because of the cheap flight or a friend's birthday. You're not being called to go over there and do any damn selfies. You just end up there because of the vibe. You're being pulled there to touch a frequency you forgot you were made from. That kind of magnet pull has nothing to do with your personality and everything to do with the assignment. You're being called to place your body in a location where spirit is still active, where memory lives in the dirt, and where grief that you can hear like the wind through the bricks. And the wind itself is carrying names that nobody even mentioned in a long time. Where your bones, your body, recognizes something that your mind can't even fathom. And maybe you'll never get the full story. Maybe you won't even understand what exactly it is that you came to do. But your presence still does something and unlocks something. You walk through that city and your whole system goes on high alert and says, oh, right. because you felt it. You walk through those streets and your spirit does the work. You can't even imagine or put words to it because there's no language for it. Maybe it's not even public. Maybe it's just you standing in a particular spot with your heart wide open. That feeling that nobody else will let themselves feel generations ago. That alone changes something. It honors something. It keeps a thread from breaking. And to some of us, that's the whole reason we are called in the first place. I'm not keeping you long. This right here is going to end the series right here at part 6. You see, the mystery is survival. The real mystery isn't why we feel drawn to New Orleans. That's not that part. That's confusing. Once you really understand the depth of what's been moving through that land, the poem makes sense. What doesn't make sense is what should have made sense. It's how so much managed to survive there when it was never supposed to. That's the mystery and the miracle. That's the part that still sends chills down your spine if you really sit with it. Because everything that was done to our people was designed to erase us. Not just our bodies, but our memory, our rhythm, our languages, our spirituality, our names, our songs, our joy, our connection to the other side. But yet, in that city, something refused to go away. Something held on, and something lived. And not just in hiding, but in code, in sound, in food, in breath, in the dance, in grief, in celebration, in silence. And not everything made it out. Let's keep it a buck. Some things were lost. And some things were broken, but not everything. They think survival means intact. But sometimes survival means transformed. It means disguised, tucked away, where the oppressor can't recognize it, but the bloodline still can. And that's what happened in New Orleans. Whole spiritual systems made themselves look like religion. Whole lineages turned family recipes into medicine. Whole ceremony slipped into the second lines and nobody even noticed except the ones whose ancestor used to move like that. So yeah, you can feel drawn because your DNA is picking up on what it already knows is alive. That's the unfinished business. And that's the call. That's the map. Made out of memory and frequency instead of streets and directions. That's why, even if you never step foot into Louisiana, you can still feel it humming under your skin like a second heartbeat. It's recognition. It's remembrance. It's what survived calling out to what was scattered to the four winds. It's what they tried to bury, rising back up. Through you. That's a lot. I'll be right back.
She just glows, draws you in like midnight gold. A sip of her truth and you'll unfold. Goddess-D got soul control. Hey, this is grown folks medicine. Don't play unless you're ready to swim. Real deep, a daily dose of tea. She speaks love fluently. Red wine wisdom with a side of clarity. Come through for your blessing. Daily dose of tea. This ain't lust, it's legacy. clock right here. She don't chase, she attracts. She don't beg, she reflects back. So if you're here, you align now.
Like I said, I'm not keeping you long. I'm about to wrap it up right now. The call is real, man. The call is real. Like I told you, this has been a reoccurring thing for me for so many years, man. I can't even remember for how long. But I'm here to tell you that you ain't crazy. So let's wrap this up. Because you ain't crazy. You ain't reaching, and you ain't making this up in your head. You ain't too sensitive, and you're not being dramatic. Damn sure ain't imagining things. You're not overthinking it. You ain't crazy. You tuned in. You're reading signals that were sent through blood. You're responding to the memory that was passed down. You're hearing things that weren't meant to be forgotten, and you ain't alone. Even though nobody else around you may get it or confess to it. Even if your own crew just wanted to party, or your family never talked about it, any of this, or the elders couldn't give up or give you the names. You're not by yourself. You're a part of a whole wave of people being pulled to remember something that almost didn't make it. And you're not making that up. You're just remembering what the land never forgot. It holds what the history books won't. The streets know things the archives kind of left out, you know what I mean? The river is carrying voices that never got a home going, and the wind knows songs about the ancestors that didn't get finished. And you're not inventing a connection, you're returning to it. And maybe now, maybe finally, you're ready to go find out what it wants from you. Not what you want from it, but what's been holding for you this whole time. The assignment, the medicine story, the closure, the continuation, the call is still there. And now you know, and it's got your name on it. And that's it, and that's all. And I'm done. I'm over it. I didn't say what I said. I know I sounded like a crazy person, but there goes the ongoing, continuing, I don't even know what to call it. Years and years and years. It's just so haunting, man. You know. You never know what this may result in. But I want to thank you for being here. I want to thank you for your support through this 6-part series of The Line Was Already Strong. I told you that those goddess chicks, man, they were weaving some type of story from the motherland through the diaspora to being here in this land, to hoodoo, back down through to the white witches of MAGA trying to appropriate our things and wipe us out. It's crazy work, man. To now being over here in New Orleans and for us to remember. They took us through a whole thing, but the map is still there. So go back and start from the beginning, and this time listen for knowledge, and then map it out yourself. Get out a literal map and map out the flow of that and see all the twists and turns and stuff that's been happening. And that's it, and that's all. I'll see you all around these YouTube streets, maybe. Maybe. You never know with her. You never know about her. They tagged that up right. But anyway, be well, stay safe. Hey, I heard that there's another thing brewing out here coming up this weekend. Y'all be safe out there in them streets, man. For real, for real. For real, be safe out there. This is some crazy weather. And in the words of Madam, in CERN's World Wide Web, you never know what they are doing up there in this atmosphere. But anyway, I'll talk to y'all soon. Peace.
Yeah, they lit the sky like the world's on fire. Same old cry, same tired choir. I ran through the night with a cape on tight. Thought they wanted change, nah, just another fight. Cliff up ahead, seen it all before. Same sad story, same revolving door. Run to the rescue, patch up the pain. Next day comes, they do it again. Stop mid-stride, heart went cold. This hero life done got too old. Flip that switch, let the signal die. Laid down the cape, didn't say goodbye. Gave them the tools, gave game, gave rope. They ain't want work, just drama and hope. I saved a storm that was killing my peace. So I turned my back, let the chaos cease.
You kill the light, save my life, that's the plan. No more fire drills on demand. If you want out, better learn to fight. 'Cause I'm done being hero every night. Yeah.
Save my life, let the sky go black. No more running through the flames, I ain't coming right back. You want change? Better stand and fight. 'Cause tonight I'm done, yeah, I'm killing that light. Save my life, let the sky go black. No more running through the flames, I ain't coming right back. You want change? Better stand and fight. 'Cause tonight I'm done, yeah, I'm killing that light. No cape on my back, yeah, I walk through the rain. Cut ties with the drama, broke chains from the pain. They gon' call it cold, they gon' call it a sin. But I done saved the same world time and again. Now I'm choosing my peace, yeah, I'm guarding my space. No more sprinting through fires just to fall out of place. If the bridge keeps burning, let the ashes stay. I ain't dying on a hill, they keep building this way. Now the nights stay quiet, no lights in the sky. Ain't no call for a hero, no reason to fly. They can stand on their own, yeah, the tools been there. But they rather call me back just to prove I care. I done gave all the game, every map, every key. If they stay in the storm, that ain't on me. I'ma ride for my peace, keep my soul intact. Once the cape hit the ground, I ain't taking it back, never.